On this episode of The Boarding Pass, we're heading to one of India's union territories, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, specifically Andaman. We started off in Bangalore, India. Our point of entry is the Andamanese capital city of Port Blair, which is a 2.5-hour flight from the Garden City. Located in the Bay of Bengal, there are a total of 325 islands in the Andaman region. Touchdown at the Veer Savarkar International Airport. At first, you see what you see in so many places in India. Crazy traffic, noisy markets, and hundreds of people. But as you watch along, you'll see how different it is from the rest of the country. The first evening, we were at a beach called Corbin's Cove. Mostly crowded, nothing fancy. The wild coral fragments and the volcanic rock erosions are some spectacles worth mentioning. Next, we were off to the cellular jail. Constructed between 1896 and 1906, it's a colonial prison used by the British to exile Indian independence activists and political dissidents. We were witnessing a sound and light show that described the heroic freedom struggle that several inmates led.
जेल के फाटक के भीतर आते ही हर कैदी मेरी ही डालियों के नीचे से गुजरता.
Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, an Indian activist, lawyer and writer, was the most notable prisoner, who the local airport is named after. The hotels and resorts we stayed at during our visit will not be featured. They were all subpar and run by a band of boneheaded characters. The following morning, we were off on a high-speed catamaran ferry. After 90 minutes of mildly turbulent cruising, we were finally at Havelock Island. Havelock Island is home to Radhanagar Beach, a popular destination on the west coast of the island. The 2-kilometer-long beach is classified Grade A for outstanding quality. It was rated as one of the best beaches in all of Asia by Time magazine in 2004. If you're looking for biryani, lentils, or roti, you will of course find them in Andaman. But what you need to realize is that Andaman is a group of islands. Here, seafood is probably the most delectable, and fish curry is the way to go. The next morning, back at Radhanagar Beach, we stumbled into an unembellished, unpretentious Lord Shiva temple. We then saw a cowboy and ran into some tail waggers enjoying the waves. Back on another ferry, this time traveling to Neil Island. Named after a bunch of Indian deities, the island is home to the Sitapur, Lakshmanpur, and Bharatpur beaches. In our humble opinion, Sitapur Beach is the best in Neil Island. The hotel here was probably the best too. Crystal blue waters, mesmerizing skies, and breathtaking views. It was the most private of all the beaches we visited. Gone are the days when I longed for beach activities, cafes, and oceanfront drinks. All I want now is to reach the beach, jump into the warm ocean waters, splash around for a bit, and enjoy a nice cold beer or two after. At Coral Beach, we witnessed some of the most amazing sights. A plethora of marine life, corals, sea creatures, and to add to it, two naturally formed bridges. Be sure to wear good footwear. We learnt our lesson the hard way. It is fantastically scenic, but at times, a punishing excursion. The sunset at Lakshmanpur Beach was pretty impressive. This is what it must feel like at the edge of the world. The ocean is all around for hundreds of miles. We were in Andaman during late December. Our hotel manager threw a New Year's Eve gala at the resort. I have two left feet, so I left the dancing to Dishani. After binging on a few beers and some fried food, we finally welcomed 2017. The Bharatpur beach is where people flock to partake in water sports. Being the 1st of January, we were told most boat owners were still nursing the after effects of a wild night, which meant we didn't snorkel or fly by on a jet ski like Jason Statham in one of those transporter movies. However, we did take a ride on a glass-bottom boat. This was pretty bad. We barely saw any corals. Regardless of the dingy glass panels, the boat ride was pretty enjoyable. Neil Island was fun, probably our favorite of all the locations we visited. Later that evening, we took our last ferry back to Port Blair. The next morning, our dependable driver, Swami, took us to Joggers Park. Joggers Park, so much for the name. We maybe saw a person or two walking briskly. We did end up getting some stunning views of the local airstrip. The Fisheries Aquarium and Museum was our last stop in Port Blair. It is a tiny little building with a vast collection of corals, sea creatures, and dead underwater life preserved in glass jars. If you have nothing to do for 30 minutes, this place is pretty cool and informative. Andaman is Indian as anything could possibly be. It is wonderful. You'd have to call it paradise. But the next time we're back, we're staying away from the conniving locals who run the tourism scene. They want a piece of everything you have, but give you nothing in return. They are the purveyors of false promises. Back at the airport, heading to Bangalore, our 5-day Andaman adventure finally came to an end.